Well, I'm wondering if I have any early birds in here. I'm early because I'm making sure that you can see what I'm doing and coloring. And by the way, you can, if you like to get closer, you can actually bring, by pinching your screen out, you can actually bring the video closer to you, and also hit the button, the fill screen button, that type of thing. So we're all ready to go. And we got a couple minutes. Give a chance for everybody to come in, and we're going to go for about an hour. Let me check the time. Got 3 minutes. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. If there's anybody in here with me, you can do it too if you like. In the back of the book is a blank page. Okay. When you put a book together, sometimes you have pages like this in the pagination. You know, it's an extra leftover page. You have blank pages. I decided not to use these couple, and that way you can use them for testing out materials. And that's what I'm going to do now, because I have decided I'm going to use yeah, nice. It's good paper for that. Acrylic paint pens. I was going to use colored pencils, but they are very slow moving, and they can be annoying, so I didn't. And I am missing one of my color charts, but we'll live. All right, guys. It's time to start. So I want to say hello first to everybody who's stopping by to drop in for a few minutes or to color with me or whatever. We're going to do a 1-hour coloring session of my own coloring book. This is the one I published in, I think, 2016, called A Not Quite Sweary but Seriously Snarky Sort of Adult Coloring Book. And you can read the rest of it. Basically, I did this because swear books were fun. People liked them, but not everybody is comfortable with swearing or, you know, cuss words, and maybe they still like to show off their coloring. So this one has no real swear words in it, just unusual little things like razzity fracker, okay, don't be a dipwad douche bag, burning balls of booty barf. You know, I ran out of mean things to say that weren't cuss words. You know, bonker butthead brain. Actually, I like that one. Buddy blummy bugger off. English. Blasted butt booger. So you get it. But also you see that the designs are pretty. Now, here's the thing. If you don't even like the words, don't color them, and cut this out and put a photo collage behind it and put it in a frame. All right? If I can remember, I can't remember. The pages, I think, are 9 by 12. And I can't find my ruler, of course. It fell down behind my thing the other day and I can't get it, but I think this is 9 by 12. So you could probably mat it and put it in a frame if you wanted to, and use these as colored mats that you colored yourself, you know? Anyway, so what we're going to do today, because we're only going to do an hour session, is we're going to do the title page. Now, what I've tried to do throughout the whole book is give you an opportunity to color something on every page as much as I could. All right? This tells you about the book, and up here I just did this little thing that you can quickly color. All right? And then you can go through the whole thing. Now, this is a nice finish for a lot of mediums, but it's not heavy. It's not real heavy. You can see a little bit of the printing through it. This, okay, you can get an acetate sheet or another a coloring sheet or a piece of, you know, thin cardboard or something to put in the back. If you are using markers, you're going to want to get something to block this from bleeding through onto your next page. Okay, also print it on one side so that you don't have to worry about anything bleeding through on another drawing. Okay, all the drawings have separate pages. So this is the page I've decided that I'm going to do today because we have an hour. And I'm looking for my chat and it went away. I don't know why my chat went away, but there it is. I'm in here under my, okay. Let's see if it works. Oops. I'm on my other phone and I'm under here. What? And violation detected? What violation? What are you talking about? What did I do? I'm sorry. What? I don't know what they're talking about. I'm not going to end anything because I don't know what they're talking about. And it's not on my other phone, which is recording this. So that could be a fake. I don't know. So sorry, YouTube, but I don't know if that's actually from you, and I have done nothing. So anyway, hello to Donald and to Osmal or Osmel. Welcome. I'm going to start coloring. I have decided today to use acrylic paint pens, and I've got several sets. So I'm going to see how they work on this paper. I did a little test, but I'll go through this really quickly. We are in my not quite sweary, but seriously snarky, sort of adult coloring book. All right. Back in 2016 or whenever I published this, sweary books were really popular. And I thought, that's nice, but number one, I had a hard time actually writing the swear words. And I thought, if I'm having a hard time writing them, and I swear, okay, I'm like a sailor. But if I have a hard time writing them, some people might have a hard time coloring them and sharing those pages. So I thought, why not do something that isn't so sweary, okay? So that's what this is. And I'm picking the first page because we only have an hour today, and we can color this. And if we need more, that's okay, we'll go on to the next. Because we're going to do this page by page every Saturday. But these are just stupid little sayings that I made up to say to somebody or express your anger or whatever. All right? With nice designs. And the other thing you can do is, if you don't want to use this, then color the beautiful designs that I've drawn here, and then cut this out and make this a matte and put a color, a photo collage behind it and frame it up. That'd be nice. So let's get to work coloring. And I'm going to describe what I'm doing and some of my, as I go along, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, etc. And I'm going to start, not with this one. I pulled that one out earlier. That one's a little bit too light, and I want you to be able to see. So I'm going to start with a darker color, and I'm just going to start to color, okay? Now, what I usually do, and these are pretty opaque, so I have to be careful, because these will go over the black line, all right? And I don't want them to. Now, these, oopsie, I just did. That's okay, because I will go back in and redraw the black line after I'm done, because I'm that way. You don't have to. Coloring is supposed to be fun, and if you don't want to do something because it's not fun, don't do it. You know, you're supposed to be able to relax and enjoy this. And I want to make sure you can see, so that's why I have my other phone up here. And so you can see. Oops, I'm not, you know what? I have to take my glasses off. There we go. I work better close up with my head tucked down. I can see better. And like this. Now, I'm a little sloppy, but I will go back in and touch that up with the black. With it. Now right now I am going to do that, but I'm going to do it with a, my brain went dead. Waterproof. I'm old, man. I forget words. See, you can touch it back up if you want, all right? And don't feel bad about it. If it gets a little thick, just make the line a little thicker, all right? I give you permission as the artist. Go ahead, all right? And don't worry about it. If you want it to be pretty, you know, I'm going to show you because I'm going to make mistakes, all right? I'm human, number one, and I fell this morning very badly, so I'm a little shaky today. Now, one of my little tricks when I am designing something and drawing it myself, if I don't do the whole plan out thing like I did when I did full illustrations for magazines and stuff, if I'm just drawing it and quickly coloring it, I will now take this and put it in another part of the design where I think it balances over here, all right? And that's how I balance my colors and designs. Then the other thing you can do, there's a lot of negative space in here. If you want, you can fill that in yourself with a background or whatever, okay? Now, I've got that there, so I'm going to use this right in here, okay? Again, I'll have to touch that up. Now, not all of the acrylic paint pens are this opaque. Some, like, let's take this glitter pen from Zayar, however it's pronounced. And this is one of the older pens that you have to prep, so you have to shake it, okay? And you particularly want to shake these, because if you don't get all the glitter. This shakes the glitter into all of the ink, so you get some. And then you kind of punch it down a little bit, all right? And I want to show you another area that isn't, see, these aren't opaque, so I can go over the black, and if I don't jump over, and I have to turn the page, all right? That's why I cleared my desk a little bit. These are made by, they're really fun, but they're not the most smooth flowing. I just started playing with the glitter pens and stuff. Now I'm going to take a look and see. See these guys? Look how badly they bleed. He would have gone through. And by the way, this, you're going to love this. This is a laminating sheet. I have a laminator, okay? Because I laminate my color charts. And that's a laminating sheet that I thought, you know, I wanted that plastic, and I don't have any acetate right now. And I'll order some. And see, it went right through. It would hit the coloring page. The other, you notice, didn't. All right. But this one, definitely. Okay. So, I'm trying to see if there's any questions in here as I go along. But I'm going to do a little blending too. Now, these are dry, and once they dry, they're hard. And they dry, the acrylic paint pens dry very quickly, which is good in one way, not so good in another. But I'm going to bring him just in this little tip up here. See, I do this to balance the color, all right? And I may not do that with every color, but we'll see. These are fantasy flowers. I like drawing fantasy flowers because it gives me, if it's a fantasy, I it gives me more opportunity to do a fun design and put in different marks and different textures, etc. Okay. Now, let's try this brand. This is a blue. Now, and we all know blue doesn't work great on flowers, but this is a fantasy flower. Okay? So I'm going to bring him over, and he's kind of a slate blue. I've gotten very fond of this color for some reason. I think what I'm going to do is give him maybe one of these colors in here. Now, he's sort of halfway in between. I haven't done any shading yet. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to go back. Oh, that's this guy here. Oh, okay. Good thing I know. That's these guys. And wait a minute. No, it's not. It's these guys. Okay, I'm right. I got myself confused with my own design. Well, it's been a few years since I drew it. Okay, this is being stubborn. There we go. There we go. Now. Yeah, he's covering. These are pretty opaque. I'm going to do every other one, you know, and if I have to go back over and redraw the black lines, I will. But while I'm at it, I might as well just cover them up and pretend they don't exist. And then if I don't want to go back, I don't have to. And interestingly enough, this kind of blends with it. So I'm not too concerned about that at this point. But I do like, the black line really does give it definition on designs, on graphic designs, linear pieces like this. Drying out a little bit. Now, you're welcome to use any medium you choose. Colored pencil, except I would not suggest watercolors or water-based or anything with water on this paper. This is not developed. This is not for watercolor. All right? You need to use dry mediums. Okay? Not even, no, you can use watercolor markers. Make sure you have that backed up. Okay? There's something to back it up. Okay? You can use them, but do not add water to them and use a brush. This paper will not withstand that. This is not for watercolors. I'm sure there's some coloring books out there that are, but I publish these under Amazon, and Amazon does not give you a paper choice. You know, it only gives you certain standard book sizes and no paper choice. So I couldn't, you know, I could not provide you with a heavier paper or make sure that that's not part of this. Okay. This is, though. See, he's that guy there. So, I'm going to give him this little thing right there. All right? Now, I'm going to do some shading, just in case I lose internet or something happens. I want you to see how you can shade things. So I'm going to go back to this light pink, and I'm going to grab, let's grab one of my real fine point pens here. I'm going to grab, oh, here with a nice little purple. Okay. Now here's one. So, you can do interesting things. I'm going to show you one way is you can do a linear design with a darker color, and it will give the effect of creating what am I saying? A text, no, a kind of a shadowed, you know, darker down here. Now, I'm not done yet. And then there's another trick. I'm going to show you that on the center one, okay? After I color it. I did that kind of sloppy, but there. And then I think I'll take this. While I've got it in my hand, let's do this. This is a fairly dark purple. This one, put it in this one. Put it on the tips of all of those. This one's not going to get much shadowing. I could go back with a lighter color. And over the black I'm not worried about because he's somewhat transparent and the black is showing through. Alright? So we've got him in there. And then I want to pick something. I'm going to pick red. I'm going to pick red, and I want, if I got a red there, I just put that back. No, is that the one? Oh no, there he is. I want, these are great because they got little dots. And so you can do little dots. But here, I want this thin pencil. Now, I want this, and it's even darker, okay? And I'm bringing it up just a little bit, lightening up, so, and then I'm putting more and more and more color down at the bottom. All right, light, and more and more, more and more and more and more and more, and you get that effect of a darker tone. And this is very small, but you can do it that way. This is one way. My favorite way is the dots. The more layers you have when they're transparent, the darker they will get to a point. They will get to a point where they reach their pigment saturation, okay? Well, what you've got here, and then if you really want to make it darker, then you do this all the way across the bottom, just lightly loosening up there. See that? And what happens is you get kind of a shaded effect. All right, and I'll bring that up so you can see that. All right, because this doesn't move up and down. I'll give it a couple seconds to focus for you. Okay, let me see if there's any questions. I don't know what this is. I'm getting a notification that I've violated something. I don't know if it's fake or not, but I'm not stopping because I did nothing to violate except talk about my sweary book, and maybe they don't even like the word sweary, but there's no swear words in here. None. And I have not said one. So I have no idea what that is about. And it may be about nothing, it might be fake. Okay, so I'm not gonna, it's not on the account, it's on my other YouTube account, my cocktail account. Yes, I run a cocktail website. I like my cocktails, okay? Now, I'm just going to sort of like do this on this one because it's a smaller area, and it gets the same look. But then you get a little shading. You want to get a little bit more, then we can get a little fancier. Where is he? Let me find him. I happen to have this little guy. I wish, I'm going to be sick when he dies out on me. But I'm going to do little white dots. And that will lighten this area up. They're just little tiny white dots. Now, this, what this does is, it does two things. It gives you a shading. Okay, you can do this with dark or light shading. Okay, you can do it just to change color tones. Okay, you want to go from red to green. Okay, or whatever. But it gives texture as well. And the lighter you want it to be, the more little dots you put in there. And then you just cute little tiny ones down in there. Okay? And then once you get, it's not, but we can even put more in up here. More. And get them really tight together and give it, okay? There you go. So you get a little shading in that manner too. It's very subtle, but there it is. Very subtle because it's a very small area. I can't see it, but I'm hoping you can see it and it's focusing for you. All right? But you see how you can fake out some things? Plus it's fun. put little dots on things. I like little dots. I have a thing about dots and circles and lines. I love them both. Look, I even dotted this. I couldn't resist. When I do a black and white drawing for my coloring books, that drawing has to stand on its own, without coloring, okay? It's got to be complete within itself, all right? All right, as you can see, this doesn't require colors to be attractive. None of them do. That's part of my, you know, that way you can be as simple or as complicated as you want in the coloring. And it gives you a lot more opportunity to work the way you prefer to work. Some people love to get detailed, tiny little areas and complicated designs. They love it, love it, love it. Some artists love to draw it, and some colorists love to paint it. And I actually, let me see if I've got them in here. I'm going to take a little thing here. Hold on. Oh, and here, medium test charts. These are swatch pages. Okay, you can swatch your colors out if you want. You can play with it to see if you want to try different color schemes, etc. All right, here's some blank pages back here for you to do that. Take them out and use them for your paints. Although it's not watercolor paper, so it's not I wouldn't use them for paints. I'd use them for pastels and other things. And then some test pages in here. I think I've already used one. Where is he? Oh, I don't know. Maybe he was in the back. But where did I find my little pages? Not here. Okay, maybe. Oh, maybe on this book it's on the back. Yeah, they were on the back. On my other books, they're inside. Okay? A couple of my other books, all the little tiny samples are inside. So you got these real teeny little ones you can color if you... I can't even see those, okay? At my age anymore. I don't even know how, you know, I didn't draw them that size, obviously. Check and see. Well, we're still going good with some of those colors. I like this color combination so far. Let me see, are there any questions? No. I see no questions. All right. But, let's go back here. I'm going to leave my white out because I'll use him. I have to take my glasses off to color, and then when I need to see far away, I have to put them back on again. Okay, we're going to do more dotting on this one. And there's another way to do it, too. I can't decide what color I want to use here. Now, I am going to keep the greens, I think, in here. And maybe do some greens and blues. I'm playing at this point. I'm not making any plans. I'm just hopping along as I think about it. You know, I wonder if I could do an orange there. What do I want to do here? Some more purples and blues. Well, let me think. I don't want to use this, but I could use something close to it. Let me go back here to these guys. And let me see this color. How close is he? Where is he? He's too close to that. Here's my color chart for these. And this is 136. Right here. He's too close to that. He's not much darker in tone. This is more peach. Well, let me see. Let me see what happens. We can always go over it. Yeah, it's too close. That's all right. Here, I'm going to do this. I don't think it's going to. Well, it doesn't. They haven't blended before, so they shouldn't blend now. But you never know. Changing papers makes a difference. Okay? And yes, I do color swatches for every medium and every color I have. All right? Because I don't care what you're working with and what company you're working with. I have only found probably 2 specific products in my entire almost 60 years of, there he is, that's what I want, of being an artist, a professional one, by the way. I got my first commercial art commission at 18. I'm not quite at 60 yet, but I'm very close. And I've only seen twice. I saw a set just recently that unfortunately I won't buy. It's the quality. I'm not interested in it. But I'm going to buy a bigger set about it. I always buy small sets first to test. But it actually matched the cap and the skin on the colored pencil. Was a colored pencil? I can't remember the brand. And even the tip, okay, actually matched the color that you put down. These are close, you know. Let's see what that pink does. Absolutely nothing. These were, you know, it just does a little there. But I didn't want that pink there. I could have left it there. I didn't want it. That's another way that you can kind of shade too, is you can do different variations of the actual colors or different colors in different tints and shades. So you start with a dark, like here, you could do a dark purple and a medium purple and a lighter purple and a very, very pastel purple. All right? And create shading in that manner. There's all sorts of ways, if they don't blend, that you can create shading. And it gives you, instead of blending, which isn't all that much fun, you know, with a stick or something, I mean, not a stick, a blending pen. It's more, I think it's more fun to do it this way. I like the texture, but it just depends on what you're going for. If you want something realistic, you know, you can try and blend these. I find it frustrating when I want something blended. I want the graduation to be perfect. I don't want big hunks of going from, I don't want you to be able to see the difference in color from one color to the next. It's got to blend perfectly. These aren't going to do that. And I've never found an acrylic. They dry too fast, number one. Okay? So I use watercolors. I use paints for that kind of look. All right, now, and up there, what do I want to do up there? I think I'm going to drop a turquoise up there. And then that's going to define what I do here. So let me entertain you. I'm loving these pens. I want to buy a whole set, but honest to God, I've got 1, 2, 300, 400, 500. I've got 500 of these things already. Just paint pens. It's ridiculous. And they're all different sets. I buy the biggest sets I can. You know, no, I have not bought the 500-600 set colored pencils. What do I want to do? Oh, I want the blue. Now, which one do I want? I think I'm going to use this one. It's a little lighter. These are a little too light. 202. Okay, that's what I want. And wait a minute, I'm in the wrong thing. There we go. 202. There he is. All right. And I'm going to come back and put some shading in these as we go. Let me look at my clock and see how we're doing time-wise. I keep forgetting I've got an actual analog clock on my wall. It's a piece of artwork. Oh, half an hour. We got a half an hour to go. So, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to show you some shading before we ran out of time. So if you want to continue to work on this, then you can do so and put in some, you know, textured type of shading that I use, or try out your different type of, you know, your own techniques. If you have any techniques that you would like to share, and sure everybody who watches this video would be interested. That's what we do in the art community. We're not gatekeepers, okay? We share information that it's, you know, it's just part of being in the art community. So if you have any good tips, we all would like to share in those. Okay? Oh, I like that. That's nice. I have been forgetting, guess what, to come over here. And this one, I like this, and I'm going to make one of the big areas this blue. And then I'll go back later, and I'll repeat some of the pinks over here in the little area. Oops, I messed that up. That's all right. I'm one of those people, I will go back because I like the black outline, and it's just part of my, you know, I want everything to be perfect. Now, I have learned how to let go of that. It's not easy, and sometimes I'd like hold on. They're like a bulldog, even when I know better. But I'm still going to come back in and line the black up because it will make this look much nicer, and it is my design. I want it to look nice. You know, make it look nice, not make look nice. I don't see any questions from anybody here yet. People get shy. That's okay. I do want to shade this one here. And I am actually going to use this is a very dark purple. Now these are, I love these. They call this black, but it's not. It's this. Oh, actually, no, I don't want this one because this is not black. I think it's black and like cherry. It's like dark black cherry. It is an incredible color, but it's not what I wanted. I wanted the purple. This is purple and blue. These are dual colors. These are dual color metallics from Guanga, Guangna, Guangna. I don't know where he went. I don't know. Put him down there for the time being. And again, shake and poke. Now, I'm going to do the dots on this, okay? I don't want them quite so concentrated down in there because I don't want it to look black. Now, they do, if you turn it in the right direction, you can see the different lights. This is a technique I like to use. I could have done a longer session, but I decided to leave it open because I have some health issues with joints and that type of thing, and I got hit by a car, so I have some issues with that, and I never can commit until I know, so I left the time open. And of course, I'm not having my regular issues, but I fell and kind of knocked my shoulders around, and my back took a kind of a, you know. Now I'm also going to put another little color in there, and I'll kind of graduate that a bit. I think I'm going to use, let me see. And no, he's too close to that. And he is too, really. If you stop it. Nope, you don't belong there. Get up there. Oh, here. I'm going to pull this one. I'm going to just see. This is kind of pink, but this might be kind of fun. Oh, yeah, it's great. It's slightly different. It pulls in the pink from over here, which means I can dot this a little darker down here, too. Still, I've got the hiccups. But and that brings in a little bit more of the pink. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put him here and Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to leave him just there. Okay? That's my kitty. What's the matter, Bailey? What do you want, honey? I wonder if this is light enough. No, it's not. I can see little bumps of glitter on that pen there. Okay, and put him back. And let's grab this, I hope. Let's grab this one. I don't think he's light enough. I don't think he is. No, he's actually darker than the background. But that's okay. I'm just going to pop a little in. All right. And then I'm going to pop him. You know, he's just not, he doesn't have enough color difference for me. Well, he does. There. Okay. I would like a little bit more color difference between him and that, but that's all right. And he's got that metallic sheen, which is kind of nice. Then we use a very light, maybe a light purple down in the last one. And I think I'd like to get some yellows, and I don't know, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'll stay within the blues and the purples and the pinks on this instead of adding the yellows. Maybe I will. I kind of like this as it's going along here. I don't know. I haven't decided. Oh, I missed one. I missed one. And I don't know what color that was. That's okay. Here. This is close. I can't get it off. Okay, there it is. This is close. Not the same, but close. He's actually a little lighter. But that's okay. I'm going to go back and give these a little hit of that. And that will work nicely. Nothing like doing things. Oops, 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 oops. I feel something still a little wet with my hands. Okay. And I'm going to touch this up too, because it's the same color. All right. Now, did I? No, I got that. I missed a tip up there. Now, we're going to go here with this guy. And this guy I'm going to use right here. And there go my little black dots. But that's okay. I'll put little white dots there. What did I do with it? Here he is. My white gel pen. Put him over there so I know what I've got. Oh no! See, I said I got into something. Okay. We cannot erase that. I'm not going to try. I'm going to try one thing. I'm going to see if this magic eraser, no, it's not. It's just going to spread the color. All right, so I'm going to have to correct it by covering it up. This paper, trust me, don't use an eraser on it. You'll have a hole in this paper in 2 seconds. Don't do that. It will not work. And there is the critter that did it. And I'm going to take him off. He is water soluble. That pen. I just licked it off of my finger. But I'm going to ignore that for right now because I can't do anything about it until I finish this. So I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to show you, because I don't want to color the background on this, but I might do some, I don't know, what I would call texture shading, texture shadows around it. And I'm going to do that here to try and cover this up. All right? So we got one more color I'm going to put here. And then I may finish this on TikTok, you know, or come back tomorrow and finish it. Because I don't want to keep everybody, you know, you don't need to stay locked up. I think they shut this down when your time is up anyway. I don't know, maybe they don't. I didn't set a time. So maybe I can keep going if I wanted to, but today I cannot. And we are, you know, getting close to the time. But I've given you some nice, what am I saying? Some good tips so far. Now, I'm going to get, where is he? Here he is. All right. First I'm going to do is get my white, my whiter white, not whiter white, my whiter shade of pale. Okay, that's stupid, I know. Hey, where is he? Oh, over here. I got the wrong, I have a bunch of tools that I use constantly in little cups and stuff. If I'm not careful, all my tools end up in little cups all over the place, and then all the places that I'm supposed to be storing them are all empty. All right, this guy, ooh, I think he's empty. I don't think there's too much left to him. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm dotting this, and there's a reason I'm dotting it. One, a dot will give me better coverage than a streak, and it looks better. And because what I'm going to do next for the textured shadow is what I call it, okay? It's something I do. Now see, I got that. Is that still wet? No. There was just a little moisture on here from me touching it. And it's already made the paper buckle a little bit. It's just too thin. You know, that's what they print these books in. That's why, you know, they're hoping you're going to sell them cheap, which you have to when you've got this kind of paper in it. And, you know, no, it's not a $3 or $4 book, and I've got news for you. I'm never going to sell a $3 or $4 book. My work is better than that. Sorry, but it is. I've seen so much junk put out by people, especially when adult coloring was really big during the pandemic, etc. And, you know, they wanted to sell their books, and, you know, half of them weren't even drawing them. They were running photos through Photoshop on filters and then putting them in a book. Or there's a lot of people stealing them, too. A lot of the big artists, like Joanne Beresford and stuff, they were having their stuff stolen left and right overseas. It's horrible. You know, if you take an artist's design, I'm sorry, you're stealing from that artist. Because you're taking away the impact of the design, you're taking away their sales, and you're taking away their livelihood. You have no right to do that. They are trained, okay? They spent time in college and school. They spent years learning how to do what they do. You pay a doctor, you pay a lawyer, you pay your mechanic, you pay an artist. Because they are just as, if not more, educated and more skilled than some of these other people. Now, that's kind of covered that up a little bit. Oh, I don't want the white. I'm back in here with the white. Okay, but this is a little, I was going to show you over here. He's not wanting to work. Ah, there he goes. I think he's working now. Let me, okay. And then you get this little tiny dot. So sure, I covered up the black dot, but that's okay. I'll make it a white dot. All right. Now, we're going to take the black pen. I always like to clean my tips off first. Even just sitting in there, they can get gunky, and I don't want that gunk on my work, okay? Do you know this is the first time I've colored one of my own coloring books? I don't color. I mean, I do color professionally. So I get all the enjoyment of coloring while I'm doing my art. So you know, while I'm here, touch that up a little bit. Touch that up. You see the difference that happens when you put the black back in? See that? Anyway, I did a sloppy job. Now, so what I'm going to do is put just a little shadow around the outside here. And I'm going to do it outside of the area that had the problem as well. And this will cover up. And I'm going to do it in here too, all right? I'm not going to do it all around yet. Usually I do that at the end, okay? But I wanted to show you and finish this tip off before we close the session. And you can continue coloring, okay? And next time, when I set up my next Saturday, which I will, we will be doing, we'll be coloring in the same book. So if you want to go buy my book on Amazon to color along, or color something else, okay? Whatever you want to do. In the description here are links to my book for sale on Amazon. I think this one's $9.95 on Prime. But you see what I'm doing here? Now, I may look at it and decide I want more dots closer, or I don't like that, and so as I go around, I'll spread it out a little bit more. But this gives me an opportunity, and if I want to add a color to this, I can. You know, I could, if I was going to color this background, all of it, what I would do is tape off the border, okay? And before I started to draw, or maybe even after. But if I do it after, it means I have to mask this kind of trickily, and I don't want to go to that kind of effort. But I would use pastel. I would take a piece of soft pastel, not oil, just regular pastels, and some very fine sandpaper, and I would put that in a little pile and use those little daub brushes and just kind of blend it in around the background a little bit. Now, because it's got lettering on it, hey, you can cover that up if you want. I don't care. It's your book if you get it. I'm not going to, obviously, but, you know, and I don't want to go around that. But you can just be very careful and just leave a white glow around it and just do it everywhere but that, too, which can be pretty. Now, there's no mistake on there, is there? All right? We got about 10 more minutes here. And I'm going to bring these pinks into my I want to keep working on him and finish him, but I won't get him finished in 10 minutes. So I'm going to bring some of those pinks in here. And for the life of me, I cannot even remember what color I used, but that's not quite right. Let me look at this. That's kind of a pink peach. Oh, I know. There it is. 303. What is this? I didn't get quite. This is 506. I need to move. I love it when these guys have numbers and color swatches on them. 303 is what I said. And that's going to be... Ooh, he might be... Where is he? 8? 3. There it is. Nope, that's 5. No, 309. No, that's 3. 303. 30. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, I bet I got the color up above. It's down below. Where was I? Wait a minute. 803. And it's not 803. Yeah, it is. The number's on top here. See, when I got to do these, the numbers should always be either on top or on the bottom. I've got them in different places on different charts, and it causes me problems. 803. Like, just like that. 803. Here it is. Oh, he's stuck in there. All right, now, I think I'm going to do him. Ooh, I need a needle. I need a needle point for this little guy, don't I? Boy, that's a tight little area. And I'm no good at tight little areas like that. With my eyes and my age nowadays. But I got it on there. And then there's no room to shade this. That's okay. I'm going to use those colors. Okay. And that was here for the other part of that. Wait a minute. Did I not just use that here? No. Okay. Let's use this one. I didn't use this one. I picked up the wrong pen. But I like it. So I'm going to use it because it's really nice and bright. And then I'm going to use it over here. Ooh. Yep, I'm going to use it right here. I am. Now, these fine liners are great for these little tight areas. Yep, this part's going to be fine right here. And this is also more transparent, so I don't have to be so finicky about the black border on there either. He's not going to have it. And this little guy, he squeaked out. He is. This is going to have it right here because he has it. And then I need that dark blue right there. I'm actually surprised I can remember him. I'm having the hardest time getting these back in. And if I'm not careful, they're going to shoot over my table on the floor. Then my cat's going to grab them and run. And then I'm not going to have them. I needed that blue. And I do believe that was here. Right? There we go. Now, I didn't put that blue in here. Let me put him over here. He doesn't have a big play over here. He doesn't really have a big play. Yes, he does. He's got a fairly... Now that, wait a minute, that's not this blue. That is the slate. Where was he? That was that slate blue. Where's my thing? Where is he? Where is he? Right there. I don't think that's him. I think, oh, wait. 208. Ah, okay. There he is. $208. Where are you? Honestly, are you sure? Oh, okay. See, I looked at this going, are you sure? I mean, that's not even. Okay. I'm going to do him here. All right. And, ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Let me just break that down because I didn't in the drawing. That's all right. You know what? No. Let's do this whole thing. He's opaque enough to do it. Gives a bigger area. They're too small otherwise. And there. See how these will pick each other up, but they're still different. And that's kind of critical. Now the other thing, part of me always has this urge to bring in lime green and orange and yellow. You know, my natural thing is to go towards the rainbow. But I'm going to keep in these blues and pinks and purples. And it's not like I don't have enough blues and pinks and purples. It's just a matter. Let's take a look at this one. Okay. And this is 628. So yeah, this may not be like, you know what? Well, 706 is almost non-existent. You can't even see that it's blue. It's actually good blending for the blues. You know what? Let's do this with the 706. And we'll mix them together. Okay? Now we got this color, which I like. But it's it's bluer than this color and slightly lighter. But it's still close in tone and value. Okay? And in tint, not tint, in, I can't, my head went dense. Color. Alright. Now, this is the real light one. Okay. Now, this might be okay. No, he's good. I want to show you something, though. This is the really light one that I said is barely there. Okay. Now, see? I went in almost after I put that down. Now, this I'll get away with for blending. Okay. But look, you can't even see that color. Alright. But if you wanted to use it for lightening other colors, I mean, it does have a value, but not much. And for me, that's too light. But because it's down there now, it's going to lighten this one up. All right, this is going to be lighter than the actual pencil is. And that gives me more of a value change from this one. So this helped me out there. That's another little trick. Okay, if you got really light ones, you'll find a lot of light ones in the new pastels that are coming out. You won't find these in regular sets, okay? Generally, they're, most artists would probably consider it a waste. I mean, they're getting 36 or 48 or even 100. But if you're doing 140 colors, they're going to start to add real pastel things like this. And there's not going to be as many color differences. The problem is that, of course, there's billions and billions. I mean, there's not unending colors in the world. Or there's no colors at all. Okay, because it's basically color is it's all light. But for our purposes, we see color, and there's billions of them. I mean, it is unlimited, literally, okay? But we can't see the minuscule differences for all the different colors. And if we can't see them, and they can't make them, they literally, how are they going to make them, okay? Excuse me. They have nobody. I might as well do this while I'm holding it. Excuse me. Because we're almost out of time, and I just want to finish this. And then maybe we can come back middle of the week sometime and finish it, But next week, go grab a copy of my book, and we will do, not the next page, because the next page is basically that, but we'll start with the first, oh, here they are. But we'll start with the first full coloring page, and we'll have maybe a couple hour session. If that sounds okay, let me know what you think. Oh, now this one could be this might be a good 2-hour session. Hey Google, stop the timer, please. Uh-oh. Well, time is up. I thank you for joining me and visiting, and hopefully you did some coloring with me, and hopefully you'll be back next week. I may change the time to 1 p.m. Let me know what you think about that, and we might do a couple-hour session, and we might do the This Book Belongs To page, and that is in this book of mine called A Not Quite Sweary, but Seriously Snarky Sort of Adult Coloring Book. All right? And it's available on Amazon, and in the description of this video, the direct link is there for you to go to Amazon and buy the book and have it here in time for next weekend. All right, I thank you all very much for joining. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe if you enjoyed yourself and want to come back. I also do stream of consciousness drawings and paintings, which are very relaxing. They're sort of based on neurographic art therapy. And these are very relaxing. People love those sessions. So check out my channel, and thank you for coming. And go visit PopArtDiva.com. I'm reorganizing it again, but it's up and working. Okay? Let's get you a little close up here as we turn this off and say goodbye. I'm going to get you a little close up. Oh, yes, Google, I know. See if you can see that a little bit better. That's my head getting in the way. And these were acrylic paint pens. And if you want me to change up, maybe do colored pencils next time, we could do that too. All right, guys. Thank you, and goodbye, and see you next week, hopefully. And during the week, I do some other lives on TikTok as well as here.